welcome back to the Legalpreneur Attorney YouTube channel. I am so excited to dive into today's topic because it's crazy, the whole story behind it. But just to give you some insight, we're going over number 37, be a guest on Popular Industry Podcast. And it actually doesn't have to be just Popular Industry Podcast, any podcast. Now, I know some of you are state law attorneys, so you only have local clients, and some of you work federal law, and so you can have clients across the country. It doesn't matter. It does not matter what type of attorney you are. It doesn't matter what your practice area, who your clients are. Being on podcasts will work. Why? Because people view those that are on podcasts, they're the experts. They're the ones that are giving all this value. They see you as the expert of your topic. So you have to get on podcasts. I'm going to share the story of Chris Harder and how he is like single-handedly really built me up. So Chris Harder, he's an incredible person, but on multi-passionate entrepreneur. Him and his wife, Lori, they have a ton of businesses, and they both have hit podcasts. His used to be For the Love of Money. Now it's called The Chris Harder Show. When I started my law firm, I started in 2018, started immediately pitching podcasts because I knew, okay, I have to be seen as the authority in my area. My ideal client, small business owners, I need to get on podcasts where the small business owners are listening. So when I'm pitching podcasts, I have a whole spreadsheet. I make a list of hundreds of podcasts, which I recently did again because we're promoting the Legalpreneur book for small business owners. But when it comes to pitching podcasts, and there's a ton of spreadsheets out there. I mean, what I do is go to Apple Podcasts and just go down the line and find active podcasts and just start pitching. Well, I immediately start getting yeses from people. And mind you, I've barely had my firm, not even 6 months, and I start getting yeses. And I'm like, oh my gosh. Okay, so Chris Harder tells me yes. And so at that point, I had no idea who this guy was. I go in, do the interview, and before I do the interview, I did some digging on him, and I was like, oh shit, like this guy is somebody. And his wife, Lori, she's been like Miss World, has been like on tons of magazine covers. So I remember laughing. So I was like, oh my God, I'm nobody. And this guy agreed for me to come on his podcast. And so we do the interview. It's great. Immediately he's like, you're amazing. Like, I'm just going to I want to transfer my whole trademark portfolio to you. And I'm like, again, a year licensed, have my own firm for maybe 6 months. And I'm like, this is great. I just got to know a little bit more than the person that I'm talking to. And I did. I knew a little bit more than him. And what happened was he had a mastermind, and I start following him on social media. I'm like, oh, I want to be in this guy's corner. He's a great person. I want to be around him. And so I really started, of course, like building up my firm at the end of 2018, and early 2019, I had my daughter, Allie, and he started enrolling again for his mastermind. And I'm like, I think I'm there. I think I can, be in his mastermind. I think I'm at the income limit or the minimum. And so I apply, I get in, and he was like, this is going to be great. You're going to be amazing in here. Da, da, da. So, but of course I have imposter syndrome. Like, these people are making like 200,000-300,000. I'm barely a year into my business, my law firm. But Chris Harder, like, single-handedly opened me up to so many connections, so many clients, and now he's a dear friend. I ended up being in the mastermind for 3 years. He's an incredible human. And I tell you that story only because if I would have never pitched these podcasts, I would have never met the man. I would have never met him. And mind you, I was on a ton of podcasts back then. I was probably like 20, 30 interviews that I did to really start off my legal career. And I started getting clients immediately, and those spun off into more interviews. But that one connection, you never know when one chance meeting is going to literally catapult your entire business. And I'm not saying that, hey, go pitch podcasts so you can meet that one person. you just never know what's going to happen. And planting all these seeds, like if you've listened to any of the other videos, I often talk about planting seeds. And that's what this whole download is, the 99 ways to find your next client. It's about planting seeds. And you want to plant these seeds, that way one day they'll all bloom. And I still get people from those podcasts way back when, but if you don't put yourself out there, you're never going to grow the firm of your dreams. And mind you, I haven't even talked about like goal setting and identifying like what you want in your firm, but if you want more clients, which you're watching this, so I know that's what you want, you have to start putting yourself out there. One of the number one ways for people to view you as the authority, get on podcasts. I have been on probably 200 plus podcasts by now, and it's why we always have clients coming to us. Even interviews that I did over a year ago, back from 2018. I still get people like, "Hey, I heard you on this podcast a long time ago, and are you still doing this? Can you help me?" And it's because podcasts, first of all, live forever, and they see you as the authority. For everything else that I talk about here, get out of your own way. Stop holding yourself back. Start putting yourself out there. If you are somebody that works only with local clients, start identifying local podcasts. A lot of cities have local podcasts. They market to people in their city. So go talk to those people, get on those podcasts. There is something for everyone. I know every time I know there's going to be somebody that's watching this, like, "Oh, it's not going to work for me because of this." That is why you're not successful. This is why you're not where you want to be. Make 2023 the year that you get out of your own way. And you're like, "I'm just going to do it. I'm just going to try it. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work." But it's time to surrender, let go of those thoughts, and start putting yourself out there. Start pitching those podcasts. If you have questions, if you're like, this is my practice area, what podcast should I get on? Drop me a comment. Happy to help. Happy to be of service. And make sure you like, share, subscribe. And if you haven't already, get that download, 99 Ways to Find Your Next Client.